Thanks for being here, because today we're going to go over the highly controversial and definitely sexual world of power door lock installation. Probably saying to yourself, Matt, just can't open my car door with keys. It's really complicated and too hard, just can't figure it all out. And when I'm doing this motion, I feel like a peasant. So we want to turn that frown inside out and use this little keychain doodad to open our car door locks. So today we're going to be installing a power door lock kit on our 63 Buick Riviera LS swap. The LS swap doesn't really have anything to do with it, but I think it adds a little bit of character in ways that, well, only I can waste money. This is also the perfect vehicle to show you a power door lock installation on because the outer door skin comes off. I can show you a great view of all my naughty bits and the installation, if you want to see that, I guess. But let's just say you need extra door locking horsepower. That if you install a power door lock motor and it requires multiple presses to actually unlock and lock your doors, well, we're gonna fix that today. And we're gonna do that by installing 2 power door lock motors per door. Wow, that's where the sexual side of this video comes in. When you're trying to scout out the perfect spot for this thing, find an area where your lock rod can be parallel with your motor, just like this, and there's a good mounting solution nearby. Throw this, ironically, garbage charge level of goodness into the trash. This is the mounting bracket that pretty much 95-72% of these door lock kits come with. The issue is if you bend it all up to like how you're gonna mount it and do a little cool standoff bro and bracketry and 45s and 90s, well, that's the strength you're working with. So let's say you're turning it into a U shape, and the fact that I can do this with my hands right there should tell you this is a problem. You got this side mounted to the door, this side mounted to your power door lock motor. When it goes to move, it does that. Yeah, so like half of your movement for your power door lock motor will just be aggressively bending your bracket, which will eventually snap or make it so your door lock motor doesn't actually open your door lock because of half of its movement's just wandering around aimlessly. So to fix all of your issues in life, probably, go to a hardware store and get the longest 632 machine screws they've got. I'd recommend just getting the longest size they have, which is probably about 3 inches. Nice. And then just cutting off whatever you don't need at the end. Also, treat yourself. Go ahead and pick yourself out a smattering of 632 washers and 632 nuts with the little nylon lockies inside of them. Once you've decided on the superbest mounting location, go ahead and drill you some holes. Start with throwing a washer on there and your nylon lock nut. And then thread another nylon lock nut on there. And now that you got this ready, go ahead and slide on your lock motor. Now you're probably starting to see what we're throwing down on our Matt's lock motor George Foreman grill setup. This setup will give you a pretty good installation flexibility without having to worry about crappy brackets moving around on you. You want to try to get everything as parallel as possible. A lock motor that's doing this is just going to try to jam it up on the way up and down. It needs to be doing this, and whatever you need to do bend-wise to get it to do this, you do. Go ahead and mark it on there with a Sharpie, take out your file, and smooth one part of your lock rod down so you got like a flat face. In my experience, the screws seem to bite in a lot better on a flat portion of the rod than a round one. Also, give her a little dollop of Loctite. Then go ahead and connect your wires up and test her out. You're looking for a smooth action and not a lot of movement from your lock motor. This is the point though where you may notice you have issues with your lock motor actually being strong enough to unlock your doors. Kind of a normal problem with classic cars, usually taken care of with lubricating the door lock mechanism, but as you can see on this car, it's not guaranteed to actually work every time. But I got a couple different solutions for you how to fix this. On your keyless in-stream remote start system, there should be an option for a double pulse lock output. So when you press your key once, it actually ends up pressing it twice. Like that. Easy way to take care of it, but sometimes it's still not enough to effectively, fix your problem. But I want to show you how to install a second door lock motor, because what's better than 1? 2? 5? Just keep adding door lock motors until it locks, I guess. Slide a second motor on your mounting screws, wire it in the same way as your other motor, and then add on a secondary linkage to your lock rod. This setup works really well for stubborn old mechanisms that don't respond to lubricant or grease. This is also why I recommend getting the longest machine screws. Plenty of room for activities. Unfortunately, I'm limited in space in this area, so I have to offset the extra motor further onto this side. In a textbook dual lock motor installation, if that was like a thing and not just like some sort of weird hack, you'd really want the motors on either side of the lock rod to keep them as parallel as possible. Putting both motors on one side kind of creates a weird off-angle situation brewing on this side, but it'll work. If you're worried about drawing too much power with additional motors, simple answer, don't be. These motors draw practically nothing, and if it does bother you, you can add in a relay and supplement the power source, or buy a door lock kit designed for 4 doors even if you only have 2 doors. All right. Thanks for being here and watching. Hopefully this gives you some ideas of what to do, maybe what not to do, on your universal door lock installation project. Whatever jiggles your knob, whatever hinges on your installation. Insert random door lock related pun here. Those puns hit differently. Lock that ass in a circle. Now we've just evolved into making lock-based rap lyrics. Maybe we should have been doing that the entire time. Now that I think about it, the world will never know.